Alright guys, it is here. I am doing a series on worship for the month of October. Hey there you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new. If you are new, hi, I'm Abigail. I make Christian videos every week to help you guys let the truth be told over your life. And for the month of October, we are talking all about worship, and yeah, that's what's happening. If you guys have not checked out my intro video, you guys can do so by clicking in the cards and going ahead and checking it out, or I will be putting it in the link in the description box below. But this month, we are just going to be diving into what worship is and how we can worship God. And we will also be taking a look at the Christian music that we are listening to, and whether it is actually worship music or if it is not. So we're going to be covering lots of different areas, and at the end of the month we will also be having a guest speaker or person on my channel who will also be talking about worship as well. With that being said, we're going to just kind of go ahead and jump into today's topic, because if we're going to be talking about worship, we have to know what it actually is. We're going to go ahead and put the Greek translation up here because I am not good at speaking in Greek and I cannot say the word worship in Greek, and we will also be putting the Hebrew translation up here. And as you can tell, the Hebrew translation is talking about a reverent love or devotion, and the Greek translation is to do reverence to. So as I was studying and preparing for these videos, I ended up looking up the word reverence because I found that in both the Hebrew and the Greek translation, they have the word reverence. So I looked it up online in the English translation. As a noun, it means to have deep respect for someone or something, and as a verb, it says to regard or treat someone with deep respect. And some of the synonyms for the verb of reverence is to admire or honor. So if we think about that, replace when we have our worship service, have an admiration service where we're admiring God or we're honoring God. If we think about that, we think about our worship service, or we think about the songs that we may sing, we have to put in the admiration part. We have to is that time of singing, is that time of whatever it is you might be doing, is that admiring the Lord? So starting off with the first one, honoring God with your speech. I think we are really great at doing that. I mean, think about your church service. We sing, "Your love is better than life. You are the well that won't run dry. And I have tasted and I have seen you are better than all these things." Or, "Even in the battle you are good, you are good. Even in the struggles I have never understood. Be it joy or pain, still my life will say you are God and you are good." Or, "Oh, I will cast my cares on you, the Almighty. I will cast my cares on you 'cause you're good. I will cast my cares on you 'cause you love me. You love me all and all because you love me." Those are just a few of the songs that we sing in church. And as I was looking at the lyrics of some of those songs, those are some really big things to say. One time, or a couple times, my pastor has actually said before in church is that the easiest place to lie is in your worship, because you're singing all these things, you're saying all these things, you're saying, even in the battle you are good, I praise you, not that I have to, not that I ought to, but that I may. You're saying, "I will cast my cares onto you." You might say, "Your love is better than life." And those are things that I have said before, and I've looked back at the lyrics and I'm going, whoa, that's a lot. And if we take all the music out of it and we take it just as a prayer to God, which a lot of worship music is that way, it's an offering, it's saying things to God. You take the music away from it, is that a real reflection of what your heart is saying? My experience with this happened not too long ago, and it still happens. Like, it's something that is a continual thing that I have to be reminding myself. But I remember I was sitting in the church service one time, and we were singing, I don't even remember the song. I think it was called like The Goodness of God. The song was saying something like, and all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. And the thing was, when I was sitting there, and God kind of just pricked my heart, and he was like, do you actually believe that? Like, do you fully trust me right now in the season that you're in? And my answer was no. And he was like, well, then why are you singing it? Why are you saying that to me? You're like, if you really, like, when I was sitting there, I really realized I'm literally lying to the face of God. I'm lying to myself, because in that moment, I did not trust God. I did not trust God with my circumstances. I wasn't willing to give it over. And I even remember the next song right after it was I Surrender. And at that point, I literally just stopped singing. Sometimes it's better within a church to not sing at all than say a ton of lies that you might not mean. And I realized that. I was like, I can't say this. I can't sit there and sit before God and say, I trust you, I surrender, when I wasn't even willing to surrender. Like, my heart wasn't there. And so it was a really big conviction on my heart. And it still happens to this day. There's times where I'm sitting there and I'm singing and God's like, are you really meaning that? Or are you just saying it because you know the song? Now, I have to just check my actions. I had to check, where is my heart? What does my heart look like? Does my heart actually mean those things? You know, what I'm about to say next might be a little bit off topic. But my next point is that sometimes you might not be able to worship God the way you might like to in church. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes for me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I get distracted in church. I will be sitting there, and when the music is playing, I'm looking at around to see when the little cute baby comes in. I'm looking at all the people that are coming in. I mean, I'm just like, there's so many distractions everywhere. And I'm just kind of like, oh, there's that person that I haven't seen in a while. Oh, there's that baby's really cute. Oh, that outfit she's wearing is really nice. And so sometimes for me, that my best worship time is just me sitting in my bedroom with my guitar, and I am just sitting there in the quietness of my bedroom. There's no distractions. My phone is on silent, my computer is away, and it is just me and God. And sometimes that might be needed rather than in the church. Now, am I saying that the church is bad? No. Am I saying that you cannot worship in the church? No, you can still do so, but I'm saying that sometimes it might be difficult. It might be hard to fully focus, especially if you're a very distracted person like I am. So I just really want to give you guys that encouragement, as well as, like, sometimes you just kind of need to, like, step away from maybe your phone or maybe just go into your bedroom away from your family for a little while and just spend some time in worship. So maybe you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh great, I'm busted because I'm not worshiping the way I'm supposed to. Or maybe you're thinking, like, I'm that person that gets distracted in church. And let me be real with you, I'm that person as well. So we can relate on that. But I think one of the biggest things that we need to sit there is, as we're listening, sometimes we don't even have to sing. Sometimes we can just soak it in of what whoever the band is or whoever's singing the songs is, to just think about the words and ask yourself, is this a reflection of what's really going on in my own life? Am I sitting here fully trusting and fully surrendering to the God of the universe? Or am I not in the position to do that? Am I having difficulty trusting? And sometimes if the song is singing the words, I surrender, we can be singing the words, God, help me to surrender. God, help me to surrender this over to you. And sometimes that's what's needed. Sometimes we're not able, like, it's hard for us to surrender. We need to be asking God to help us surrender it. That is one of the biggest lies that I feel like I've been told before, is like, oh, just surrender it over to God. Just trust God. And it's like, I have difficulty trusting. So instead of saying, oh, I give up, I can't do this, I can't worship because I can't say the words that are on the screen, or I can't say those words, say, God, help me to trust you. God, help me to surrender to you. God, help me. And I think there's actually a song called God Help Me. I think it's by Plum. I'm not sure. I'll put it up here. Just say, God, help me. God, help me to get into this moment. God, check my heart. God, I want to worship you, but I don't know what the right words are to say. That's what he wants more. So I'm going to leave you guys with a passage here that comes from Matthew 15. And Jesus is talking to the Pharisees because the Pharisees are talking about all these traditions and rituals that they might have. And Jesus asks them a question. And he says, "This people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men." Has your worship become a habit? Has the time that you go to church, has that just become a ritual or a habitual routine? I'm gonna be honest, there are times where I have fallen into the routine of worship. There are times where I walk into the worship service and I'm sitting there singing and I don't even realize half the words I'm saying, like, because my mind is not in the position of worship. And that's a real place. That's not just something that we can just pretend never happens, but what do we do from there? And stop singing maybe and take some time to actually listen to the words, or if you guys have the words on the screen, just be reading them and kind of meditating on them. That's something that has helped me. With that all being said, I just really want you guys to just think about what I've said today. Read that passage in Matthew 15. Just read all of Matthew 15 and think about, where's my heart's placement when I'm worshiping? Where's my attitude in where I'm worshiping? Is the words I'm saying when I've worshiped, is that true? Is that real? Is that genuine? That is what I'm going to be leaving with you guys today. Check back on Wednesday with another random video. See you guys next Sunday with our session part 2 about worship. And we're going to be talking about worshiping God in spirit and in truth. That's all I can say for now, but I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. I'm sorry when I've just gone through the motions. I'm sorry when I just sang another song. Take me back to where we started. I opened up my heart to you. I'm sorry when I've come with my agenda. I'm sorry when I forgot to join off. Take me back to where we started. I open up my heart to you.